Hoff, Nebraska, Director, Zone Subdivision 5 for NPPD. Since you people are asking, I'll turn and face you. Do you mind?
That's fine.
Okay. I've lived on a ranch all my life. I managed a 20,000+ acre ranch south of Broken Bow for 27 years. I lived in the Sandhills at Valentine for 3 years. I have a pretty good idea what living in the Sandhills is. I enjoyed living in the Sandhills very much when I did. I have not lived in the Sandhills all my life, but I see what they're like. And I have a lot of friends that still live in the Sandhills. This project, I understand what you're saying, but I listen to what Mr. Kent says and what the rest of the team says. You know, if you look at it on a purely simple basis, you know, what'd you say? What'd you call it? Nimba? Not in my backyard. But who isn't going to feel they don't want it in their backyard? You know, go back to our ancestors. Okay, the people that let the transmission lines be built in their backyards 50 years ago. You know, and I'm sure they had opposition. You know, when REA started, it was built by people that said, we got to get together. The only way you got power at your ranch is because somebody in Lincoln paid the same price for their electricity as you did, 75 miles from town. It's a cooperative effort. That's what made it work. So we need to cooperate in building up this transmission, this power, and that's our own choice of words, the reliability of this electricity to move through the area. I understand what you're saying about not wanting the towers. You know, the ranch that I managed, there was 215 kV lines within, the furthest one was 10 miles, the closest one was 5 miles. On lattice towers, just like you're talking here. And when I first moved there 30-some years ago, I saw those towers. Somebody said something to me the other day about them. Did they bother you? And I said, where? You know, you don't even see them after a while. You know, the ranch I managed, they mentioned the line that came right up through there. You know, and the owner of the ranch was opposed to it. You know, they negotiated. They put the line through it. You know, when I left the ranch, you take a new man out and you say, okay, you ride this end of this pasture, and you come back these 3 poles right here, storm structure. You know, and you wait right here on this hill till you see me coming from the other direction. We just use them as points of reference for people to find. You know, pretty soon you don't think anything about it. You know, I understand what you're saying, but about not wanting to see it in your backyard or the fragility of it. That was the biggest issue of the whole thing. You know, that's why we have this team of experts up here on the saving the soil or whatever. You know, they're going to do everything they possibly can do to not tear up the soil. I don't know if you heard what they said, but they were going to go through there with one machine. You know, you're going to drive over that soil one time. It's planned to only go across it one time. And when I lived in Sandhills, when you drove out of the ranch yard, you drove across the cattle guard, and you could not, in the 5,000 acres, find a road anywhere. We had a guy come to work for us for the summer from Germany, and he absolutely couldn't find a ranch. There was no roads. He was used to roads. There was no roads, because when we drove through across that cattle guard, you never, if you could see a track, you moved over and went somewhere else. The policy was, if you go across the grass once, you won't tear it up. That's the idea that they're trying to work with the engineers, is to go across it one time. Then they'll fly it in there with helicopters. In my opinion, it's very necessary, and I think it's to the good of the entire state to have it here. Thank you.